I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Unfinished business. First, we'll consider a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting dated November 12th, 2025 as presented. I'll second that. Properly moved and second. Any discussion or question? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll consider a motion to adopt resolution 2025-11 to submit an application to Department of Community and Economic Development's Commonwealth Financing Authority State Local Share LSA grant program in the amount of $926,874 to be used for the rehabilitation of historic steps of the Jefferson County Courthouse. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion? Would anyone like to elucidate on that?
Sure. So we will be applying probably as soon as this resolution passes today for this grant. As anyone who's employed at the county knows, and probably most of the public, those steps have been blocked off because they are a safety hazard. The stone is cracking, it is buckling, they critically need replaced. So these funds would cover a total restoration. We will use whatever materials that can be reused, but we will for certain keep the same aesthetic look and spirit of the historic nature of the courthouse. Nothing will be changed into a different style. It will be all historically accurate. So hopefully we will get these funds and we can complete that project maybe next year.
In addition to your observations, it's actually pulling away from the building too.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of these things are, it's an issue that's not going to get any less expensive as time goes on. So hopefully we can get some LSA funds to tackle it. Okay. All right, any further question or comment? All right, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. Jefferson?
Next motion is to enter into a 3-year comprehensive health services agreement between the County of Jefferson and Prime Care Medical Incorporated to provide comprehensive health care services for all persons committed to the care, custody, and control of the Jefferson County Prison effective January 1st, 2026.
Make that motion.
I'll second that motion. We moved in second. Any comment? I'll offer this just for perspective. This is the company who provides this service now. Think of it as health coverage for inmates. The county has a current contract with this organization with Prime Care. They were good enough to come in, I think 2 months ago, and work with us on a pricing and procedure schedule that worked out better for the county. Prime Care worked with us, and we appreciate what they do and trying to make it as affordable as possible. Healthcare is expensive no matter how it's touched, and when an inmate who's our responsibility needs healthcare, this is where Prime Care takes in. Okay. Could we have a roll call vote on that, please?
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr.
The next item is a motion to place the 2026 tentative budget on display with adoption scheduled for December 23rd, 2021. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? I'd call upon our Chief Financial Officer, Jessica Park, to add some context.
Sure. You should have a budget packet in front of you. I'll just walk you through it and hit some highlights quickly. I'll ask you to turn to page 2, which is the summary of funds. You'll see here that the proposed budget for 2026 shows a total deficit in the amount of $968,572. That can be found on the bottom right-hand corner of the page. This deficit includes the almost $1,052,000 deficit in general fund, which is a significant increase from the $265,000 general fund deficit, which we budgeted for the current year. Flipping to page 3, we'll see that on the top half, the total revenue is at $35,906,000. This is a 2% increase from the amounts we budgeted in 2025, which are found in the middle column, and a 1% increase from actual revenue in 2024. On page 4, you can see some detail regarding what comprises that revenue. The largest source of income is grant revenue, which is primarily for children and youth and other human services line items. And real estate taxes account for 33% of the county's total budgeted revenue. I'm sure this is of interest to everyone, but this year's budget does not include any millage increase. And on page 5, you can see some detail of the tax revenue that's budgeted. I apologize if I'm gonna ask you to flip around a little bit, but going back to page 3, looking at total projected expenditures, this is on the bottom half of that page. We're proposing $36,874,961 for the year. That is a 1% increase from amounts budgeted for 2025 and a 3% increase from actual expenditures in 2024. If you look at the first line item in that section, general fund, they are 1.7 million higher than the amounts budgeted for the current year, and that's an 11% increase. Flipping back now to page 6, there is a graph which shows you the breakdown of those budgeted expenses. You can see that human services comprises the largest share at 40%, and that includes approximately 12.4 million for children and youth. And countywide employee salaries, wages, and benefits account for 37% of the total proposed cost. This does include annual wage increases for employees, as well as an 11.3 increase for the county's group health insurance plan costs. Page 7 then just shows some detail related to the county's debt. At the end of 2026, we will have approximately 13.5 million in an outstanding balance. So to summarize, looking at this deficit that we proposed, it would require the use of fund balance to cover it. And currently the county does have a very healthy fund balance, but it is a finite number. And budgeting $1 million deficits to be covered by reserves is really not a sustainable business model. So during the next 20 days, as this proposed budget is on display, we are going to continue to work on it in an effort to reduce that deficit. So this is a change from how the county has done things in previous years. It's a different process. However, it's entirely permissible by statute. And so we're going to keep working on that because the goal is to present a budget that is much closer to break even. So those are the highlights. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Hey, Justin, you don't have to wait to your part of this meeting and then try to recapture it. If you have any questions on the budget now, let's try to hit them before we move on.
I don't think so. I think page 1 really explains it well.
Any comment? Laura? Yeah.
Good job.
I would like to thank and acknowledge all the leadership who've worked hard first of all, to operate within budget confines for this year. This year is not over yet, but a lot of good fiscal discipline has been taking place across the board in almost every case. Obviously, the budget is a plan. Sometimes things come up that are outside of that plan. We try to prepare for contingencies. The healthcare plan for employees, every year we go through this, that's a significant knock. 11.3% is no small bite. It could have been a larger bite. Our leaders, our elected officials and department heads are continuing to refine this product. And we want to close that gap. We want to run a balanced budget, and we want to do it within our means. And I want to thank Jessica for all your individual effort, bringing the collective effort together and putting it in a quality product.
Yeah.
Any questions or comment? This is our budget. If anyone wants to ask anything or say anything, please do so. Okay. Well, with that, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. North,
Yes.
Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
Mr. Christopher.
Okay, so the budget will be on display with the intention of taking action on the final version of it on December 23rd. Public information. At this point, I would like to turn the floor over to our Emergency Management Services Director, Tracy Zenz.
Thank you. Good morning. I want to unveil this morning a project that we've been working on throughout the last year. It's one of our newest resources within the county and the region, the addition of an MCI response trailer. MCI stands for Mass Casualty Incident. A mass casualty incident is an event where the number of casualty overwhelms the emergency medical services and hospital resources available in the immediate area. It is characterized by a surge of injured individuals that disrupt normal healthcare operations and requires extraordinary or exceptional emergency arrangement for response. Managing an MCI necessitates a predetermined exceptional response plan and requires additional extraordinary assistance beyond the usual scope. This is where this trailer comes in. The MCI trailer is a mobile storage unit for emergency supplies and equipment to support our first responders at large-scale disasters like accidents, large fires, events with numerous patients, other than accidents, and even at planned special events. The MCI trailers serve as a mobile cache of equipment for rapid response to these type of incidents. They provide critical supplies when the resources or responding ambulances are insufficient or have been depleted. The intent is with the lack of ambulances due to our rural area, the trailer can be deployed where EMS trained individuals with the local fire departments or ambulance services can triage, treat, and stabilize a patient until a transporting ambulance can arrive for transport to the nearest hospital. This trailer has enough equipment to treat up to around 25 patients. The project came together with the help of several individuals and agencies that I'd like to acknowledge. The trailer itself was first purchased by the Northwest Central Pennsylvania Emergency Response Group through Homeland Security grant funding over 10 years ago and was repurposed for this project. Originally housed in Clarion County, it was transferred to Jefferson County with the help of the late Denny Logue, the former emergency management coordinator for Clarion County, and Jeff Smathers, who is with us today, the retired director for public safety from Clarion. Both Denny and Jeff were instrumental in providing us this trailer to get this project started. The task force now has 2 MCI trailers in our cache of resources staged along the interstate corridor, one being in Clarion and one in Jefferson. I want to thank both of them for their help, along with several other people and agencies who donated equipment to make this happen. Unfortunately, I wanted to have this project completed so Denny could be here for the unveiling, but unfortunately he passed away here a short time ago. This project to Jefferson County came in at under $1,000 in local tax funding. Everything for this trailer was funded by either grant funding or other sources. First, I'd like to thank my staff, Chris, Marcy, and Ashley, who worked with me to get this trailer cleaned up, painted, and ready to equip. They're always happy to help me with any new ideas that I come up with. I also like to thank Beth Keth, who's with us today, Julie Peer, and Danielle Skinner from Penn Highlands Brookville for the donation of medical supplies. Jack Heberling and Katie Donald from Punxsutawney Area Hospital for the donation of medical supplies. Valerie Zentz, who is with us today, and her coworker Christy Agosti, who represents the Northwest Central Emergency Response Group, who was and continues to be instrumental in helping us secure grant funding from the Homeland Security projects for equipment and all the projects within the region, to include this one. Jefferson County EMS for the donation of some equipment and allowing us to store the trailer in their station below the 911 Center for Rapid Response. Ones that couldn't be here today, Melinda Carbaugh from the Northern Healthcare Coalition provided us with a grant to help purchase equipment. Dustin and Brandon from the county jail, who helped us with the stationary bunks inside the trailer, and all my colleagues within the Northwest Central region who continue to address challenges that face our region and come up with solutions for the protecting of our residents. If I forgot anyone, please accept my apologies for that. And that's the first project that I'd like to unveil. And we do have the trailer outside. It's outside in front of the building. If anyone would like to take a look at that afterwards, we'd be happy to show them around and show them what we have. The next project, if you'll turn to the television screen, and I'll try to scope through a little bit here. This is our Snyder Hill Tower replacement project. The county announced back towards the beginning of the year that we were awarded an LSA grant for the purchase and construction of a new 199-foot self-supporting tower at our current site along Conrad Road in Young Township. After a few setbacks, the project has taken shape and work continues to bring this site to completion. I'll just kind of show you where we're at today. This is shortly after all the trees were removed at the site. You can see the old shelter in the tower in the background. This is after the foundation was dug for the supporting tower itself, along with the workers putting the rebar in place. And you can see on the right there, this was after the concrete was poured and the piers for the new column are ready to be poured as well. This shows the final concrete work, everything in place, ready for the tower to support, which that all started here last Friday evening in the rain. We were able to set the shelter and the generator. We completed that about 7 o'clock that evening. This is the shelter that was put on site. It's a prefab building, and this is where all our new transmitter equipment will go into. This is the sections of the tower as they were put together on the ground. On the right one shows the first leg of the tower installed, and this is where we're at today. The tower itself has been fully erected. It's at 199 feet compared to, what's the old one, 160 or 180?
I think it's the 180.
180. So the tower will have a little bit more height on it. This picture was taken yesterday when it was pretty cold and windy, if you look at the top of the tower on the right-hand side, there's 3 people hanging from that tower. So that shows you the dedication of the workers putting this together. And we're hopeful by the end of the year that we'll have that site fully operational. So, with this, we have the electrical hookups to complete, the grounding of the tower, installation of the new equipment, and moving the antennas and transmitters to the new site. Again, I want to thank my staff for the work they've helped with this, but I also want to acknowledge Jess for going to bat for us to get us that grant. You were very instrumental in that, and I can't thank you enough, and also the commissioners for the support that they've given for this project. The current tower down there now is so overloaded, and every time the wind would get up to about 5 miles an hour in Punxsutawney, I was afraid it was coming down. So far, it stayed, and I'm hoping with the new tower that it's going to be there for a long, long time.
Tracy, before you depart this subject, going back to your contingency operation last Friday, just for everyone's information, some logistics difficulties, talking about a project of this size with a lot of moving parts. Tracy stepped into the breach and did some on the scene coordination, and you were there all day into the night in unpleasant conditions, and we're grateful to you, of course, for that. But could you mention the other folks who were helpful to you that day?
Sure. There are two gentlemen that's helped with this project, Rob Gemmel and Danny Lowry. Rob was the one that put in all the concrete work, did the excavation, removed the trees, and Rob was installing some of the concrete, working with, Danny, working with Rob on this project as well. We did face some challenges on Friday with the equipment coming in and trying to get things put into place. And, both of those individuals, they volunteered to step up and give me a hand and help me with it. And I'm very grateful for them too. It reminded me why I got out of the Army, because it just felt like a midnight bivouac scene out there with the rain, the diesel smell, as we discussed, and so forth. And I wasn't ready to camp out there that night, so I came home. But those two, they have been very, very helpful to get this done for us. And there were some other businesses that helped us out with this by helping us get the shelter moved, getting the generator moved up the site, and some other things that occurred that day. So
I appreciate you mentioning that. The names you mentioned, some community-minded people throwing themselves into the situation to help the people of Jefferson County. Help it come to a successful conclusion.
yes. So I'm looking forward to this project being done. Moving on to the next one. So.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't also acknowledge that, the funding, Jessica Siri did the work, and she continues to carry the water on the administrative side, keeping the contracts, all the paperwork that's necessary, because this is all 100% funded through one of those LSA grants we just talked about earlier in the meeting. And without the support of our legislators, Brian Smith, our state representative, and Senator Joe Pittman, who has the southern third of Jefferson County, they put their thumbs on the scale for Jefferson County and brought this in. So it's going to be just under $1 million project, and it's state money coming back from Harrisburg to us. We're not using real estate taxes or your real estate tax money to make this happen. So great work all around.
Thank you.
Tracy, I
Yeah.
just have a quick question.
Yes.
It's me.
we haven't had a lot of chance to discuss the project, but what happens to the existing tower? Do they take that down then?
So once everything's moved over to the new tower and everything's operational, then it'll come down. It'll be dismantled and removed from the site. The shelter itself is gonna remain there. We're gonna use it for some storage, just for ground maintenance and so forth there. But the old tower will be dismantled and brought down. It may not happen until spring. It depends on the weather, but that's the game plan for it right now.
Thank you.
And if you want to climb it to help take it down,
That doesn't fall other duties as a sign, so I'll pass.
What happens to the old tower once it's dismantled?
it'll probably be scrapped. The tower itself was put up in the 90s, and it replaced a tower that was accidentally knocked down when crews are up there doing some work at the site. But the tower itself is really overloaded for, what we have equipment-wise on there, and there was no room for expansion for the future. So this new tower is going to be able to support it well 20-plus years at least, so long after we're gone, or I'm gone anyway.
So the commissioners want to thank all the EMS professionals, all the work you do and continue to do. Mr. Smathers, welcome. Thanks for joining us. But Jefferson County has a first-class team. We're very fortunate.
Thank you.
Thank you. I see we have another local celebrity in the crowd, Donna Cooper.
Recycling, we're always thinking about that. Christmas time, holiday time, just would like to remind everybody, please use the drop-off sites. Please use them right, especially if you want to help keep down the cost. And when trash or things that are not recyclable lands in those containers, all it does is cost us more money to keep the program open. So aluminum cans, tin cans, all those beverage bottles that we'll be using this holiday, please remember to recycle.
Thank you.
An old tower too.
Sure. Which in touch with the scrapyard.
Very good. We'll go into public comment. Is there any public comment? Any topic at all? All right, with that, I'll close and we'll go over to Patty. Do you have anything?
No.
If you don't have questions, that means that we're pushing information to you, and that's good. So if you don't have to ask questions, then we're giving it to you.
We'll have to say clarity.
Yeah, don't do that. And the last time you promised me at a past meeting you wouldn't send him, and he came anyway, so.
I have to keep you guessing.
I know what to guess. Larry's coming. All right, so I'll close media questions. Is there any other business? Motion to adjourn. Properly moved in second, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. We are adjourned. Councilman, do you want to go?